Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I am so glad to have all of you here. There's many people in the room. I know anyone joining by live stream can't see. We have a lot of new faces and a lot of familiar faces. This is week some odd number of Rabbi being on sabbatical and me leading with many, many guest-friendly faces. So tonight it will be Cantor Pellin and Moret Eliana Hall, our Director of Lifelong Learning, leading you all in Shabbat prayer. So we'll begin tonight on page 10. Page 10, with Hine Matov. And I hope you'll sing loud so that we can all lift our voices in prayer. Hine matov umanayim sheverachim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim sheverachim gam yachad. Try that again. Hine matov umanayim sheverachim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim sheverachim gam yachad. How good it is, how good it is, how sweet it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how good it is, how sweet it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine matov, hine matov. Umanayim sheverachim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim sheverachim gam yachad. We continue. This is our first Shabbat of the month of July. I know it's hard for anyone else to believe. Maybe it's just hard for me to believe that it's already July. So what we typically do during the school year is this is our more camp-friendly service. We usually have our song leaders, our teen song leaders leading in guitar, and we do more camp-friendly tunes and have our J choir, our junior choir here. That is Hine Matov, that one, with the claps. It's one of their faves. So we did that to honor them, but we'll do less of the junior choir melodies since we don't actually have them tonight. So we'll join together now on page 344 with a setting of Psalm 96, Shir Chadash, 344. Shiru Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru Adonai shir chadash. Shiru Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru Adonai shir chadash. Sing unto God all the earth a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. Shiru Adonai kol har. Shiru Adonai shir hadash.
We turn to page 2 for the lighting of the Shabbat candles.
And we invite up our board member and our board president.
Oh my.
Ooh, all hail the chief. Rachel Allen, to lead us in the blessing of our Sabbath lights.
let's try it again. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tziyanu l'chalik mer shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the lights of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzilanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Shabbat shalom. Thank you.
We turn to page 20 for Lecha Dodi. And then I never remember the numbers.
We will be singing verses or praying verses 1, 5, and 9. And on the final verse, it is our minchag, our custom here, to rise and face the doors to welcome in Shabbat. Not immediately, but for that 9th and final verse, we'll give you a cue to do that when it's time. So page 20. Ya la 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 lecha dodi, ya la 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 likrat kala, ya la 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 b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat nekabel, ya la 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 lecha dodi, ya la 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 likrat kala, ya la 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 b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Ki ishmianu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad, u'shemo echad, l'shem u'tiferet v'litziala. Ya Elai, ya la 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 l'chadodi, ya la 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 likrat kala, ya la 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 b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, ki va'orech kumiori, uri, shir daberi, kevod Adonai, alayich nigla. Ay, lay, lay, ya la 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 l'chadodi, ya la 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 likrat kala, ya la 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 b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Ba'i v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha uv'tohola. Tochemunei Am Segula Bo'ichala Bo'ichala Ay lay lay Yalla la 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 Chadadi Yalla la 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 Likrat Kala Yalla la 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 B'nei Shabbat B'nei Shabbat Neka Elah.
We remain standing and turn to page 28 for the Baruch Hu, our call to prayer.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Yalla la yalla 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 la yalla yalla la yalla Baruch Hu Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed Le'olam va'ed Yalla la yalla 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 la yalla 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 la yalla 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 la yalla yalla la yalla yalla la yalla yalla la yalla.
We continue on page 30 with the Mari Varavim. Please read with me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ari varavim b'chochma poteach she'arim vitvuna meshane itim umachalif et hazmanim umisader et hakochavim b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtsono Bore yom v'layla, golel or mipnei hoshech v'hoshech mipnei or. Umavir ben yom uvein layla, umavdil ben yom uvein layla. Adonai tzvaot shemo. El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, hamariv aravim.
These next three prayers, we meditate on God's love for us and our love for God. They will happen consecutively and in a row. That's what consecutively means. Good job, Cantor. You can find them on page 32, 34, and 36. You will know the words as we go through. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Amcha Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu limandeta Otanu lemadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shochbeinu u'kumeinu nasiach b'chukecha v'nismach b'divrei toratecha u'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed ki hem chayenu ve'orach yameinu u'avahem nege yomam v'layla nege yomam v'layla ve'ahavat chal tasir mimenu Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael Shema Yisrael You may be seated. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu ha'devarim ha'eleh asher anochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha v'beitecha uvlechtecha v'derech u'shokbecha uvkumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot beinenecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim le'lohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hoseti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim v'hiyot lachem le'elohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem Amen.
Continue on page 39. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together.
Yay, lay, 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 lay,
We continue on page 43. Give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim.
We continue on page 44. ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת בקוראי עונג שבת ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת בקוראי עונג שבת מקדשי שבי שבת כולם ישבעו ויתענגו מטובך השבת ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת בקוראי עונג שבת ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת בקוראי עונג שבת והשביעי רצית בו וקידשתו שבת חמדת יעמיד אותו קראת שבת ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת בקוראי עונג שבת ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת בקוראי עונג שבת Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, V'korei oneg Shabbat, Yismechu b'malechutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, V'korei oneg Shabbat.
We turn to page 46 and we rise for tefillah.
Adonai sifatai tiftachu fi tahilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zacher Chastei Avot v'Imahot, U'mevi Geula libnei b'neihem, L'man Shemo b'Yahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh ha'kol atah Rav le'Hoshia, Morid hatal, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechayeh ha'kol berachamim rabim, Samech noflim verofei cholim, U'martir asurim, U'mekayem emunato, Lishenei avar, Michamacha b'geburot, U'midol melech, Melech limit u'mechayeh, U'matzmiach Yeshua, B'ne'eman atah l'chayot ha'kol. Baruch atah Adonai, Michayeh ha'kol. Atah kadosh shimcha kadosh, U'kdoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. You may be seated.
You can find Misha Berach on page 253. This is the point in our service when we take time to think about those who are among us, or even those who aren't here with us this evening, who are in need of healing, both body and spirit. If you have a name that you would like to add, please do so as my eyes meet yours.
We think of anyone we've shared aloud, or anyone that we're holding close in our hearts and our minds, as we join together in Misha Berach once again on page 253. Mikor habracha le'imotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mikor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Vego Ali, Vego We rise as we are able, and we invite up, I know we have one little kiddo in the sanctuary. If they want to, it is time for Kiddush. So we invite up our board member, Rachel Allen, and if our one little under 13 guest wishes to come up, she can. She does not have to, but we've got a cup of juice if she wants. She'll celebrate from backstage, but she's welcome to. Words for Kiddush, the English can be found in, as Rabbi likes to say, inscribed on our hearts, the words from the Union Prayer Book, and Hebrew can be found on page 5. Fancy Kiddush cup. Ooh, it's brand new. Oh, yay! You want to come over to the art? We stand up in the art. Yay!
All right. Let us praise God with this symbol of joy and give thanks for the blessings of the past week. for life and strength, for home and love and friendship, for the discipline of our trials and temptations, for the happiness that has come to us out of our labors. You've ennobled us, O God, by the blessings of work, and in love have sanctified us by Sabbath rest and worship as ordained in the Torah. 6 days shall you labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath, to be hallowed unto the eternal your God.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uratzon inchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom tefillah lemikra'ei kodesh zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim ki vanu v'chorta v'otanu ekidashta b'kol ha'amim v'shavat kodshecha b'ahava uvrason hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen. L'chaim. Let me say a quick little blessing. May God bless you and keep you. May God
Bless you and keep you.
May God's light shine upon you,
May God's light shine upon you.
and may God give you peace.
And may God give you peace.
Amen.
Amen.
Yay! Shabbat shalom. Thank you for joining us on the Bima. And we remain standing as our friends exit the Bima as we continue with Seder Kriyat Torah. I'm right? Getting my, I don't have my cue sheets down there. Seder Kriyat Torah, ha! Al Shosha Devarim, Al Shosha Devarim, Ha'olam Lamed, Al Shosha Devarim, Ha'olam Amed, HaTorah V'Yom HaAvodah, Ve'al Gemilut Chasadim, HaTorah V'Yom HaAvodah, Ve'al Gemilut Chasadim, Al Shosha Devarim, Al Shosha Devarim, Ha'olam Lamed, Al Shosha Devarim, Al Shosha Devarim, Ha'olam Lamed, Al Shosha Devarim, Al Shosha Devarim, Al Shosha Devarim, Ha'olam Lamed, Al Shosha Devarim, Al Shosha Devarim, Ha'olam Lamed, Al Shosha Devarim. You can be seated. And I am delighted, and I should have called him up earlier by name. I'm delighted that Mayor Hoberman will be chanting and telling us a little bit about the Torah portion for this week.
So, sure. So this parsha has a lot of stuff going on, and some of it's weird, and some of it's boring. And in the midst of it, well, the entire book of Numbers has a lot of numbers. It has a lot of counting of human beings, and as part of the counting, this piece piece in the middle of this parsha takes a moment to note what happens when the counting isn't as expected. Because they're counting for the purpose of being able to portion out land when they eventually get to the promised land. And the daughters of Tzlofchad approach Moses, and they say, wait a minute, our father died in the desert without any sons. What happens to his line? What happens to his name? What happens to us? They don't say that part, but we know that's kind of the prompt. What happens to us? And they come to Moses and to Aaron's son, who's now the high priest, and to the leaders of the people. And the trope kind of reflects their anxiety standing in front of all these people and saying, give us our father's place. Give us the right that he should have. And where I'm leaving off reading tonight is Moses, without a word back to them, turning to God and bringing their argument, their case before God. After the part that I'm reading, God says yes.
So a very special parsha tonight, and for our Aliyah, we call up, it's that time of the month again, we call up any birthdays, anyone celebrating a birthday in the month of July.
There we
Yeah,
go.
I saw
There
you.
we go.
Anyone else? We have at least two. At least two. Anyone else? And anyone, of course. Oh, yay! Okay. And this is your first Aliyah since your bat mitzvah. Ah.
Yay!
So, and of course, anyone on live stream who is also celebrating. And for those who are following along in the text before you do the blessing, you can find the Torah text on page 1079 of the big blue book. And the verse numbers are, it's chapter 27, verses 1 through 5. 1079. And with that, we're ready. 1, 2, 3.
Baruch hu et Adonai Hamorah.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch atah Hamorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yashar Koach.
Amen. ותקרבנה בנות צלופחד, בן חפר, בן גלעד, בן מחיר, בן מנשה, למשפחת מנשה בן יוסף, ואלה שמות בנותיו, מחלה, נועה, וחוגלה, ומלכה ותרצה, ותעמודנה לפני משה, ולפני אלעזר הכהן, ולפני הנשיאים וכל העדה, פתח אוהל מועד לאמור. אבינו מת במדבר, והוא לא היה בתוך העדה. הנועדים על אדוני בעדת קורח, כי בחטאו מת, ובנים לא היו לו. למה יגרש שם אבינו מתוך משפחתו, כי אין לו בן? תנה לנו אחוזה בתוך אחי אבינו. ויקרב משה את משפטן לפני
Adonis. Yashar Koach. Baruch.
atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam notah b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
hang on. Where did the cover go? Oh, it's somewhere. We'll find it. I just wanted to say a quick blessing for our birthday people. May you have a wonderful birthday month. May it be filled with sunshine and not the mugginess that we've had these past few weeks. If I have anything to say about the weather, more sunshine, less clouds, you know. May you go from strength to strength, and may you live to 120, me'ad ve'esrim, or may you live to 100 with the energy of a 20-year-old. Taking that right from Rabbi's book. We join together in Shehechianu, a blessing for having reached this moment. Please join with me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu b'zman hazeh. Yom Huledet Sameach and Yashar Koach. Thank you. You may head back to your seats, and everyone, I ask that we rise as we are able to return the Torah to the Ark. V'zot haTorah asher sa Moshe livnei bnei Yisrael. Pi Adonai b'yad Moshe. Its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom. Shalom. You can be seated.
Seated. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I have another story, and it has an animal in it. I know you're shocked. Before this, I actually was an agriculture major, which explains a whole lot about me, and that's a longer conversation. But I do love a good story with an animal in it. This one is not a talking animal like last week, or the week, but whatever, there's still an animal. So here we go. So not too long ago in our history, to be a rabbi was not a paying job. This was something that you did after work. And so rabbis were learned scholars who also had to make a living another way. And this story is about Rabbi Shimon. He was a rabbi who, frankly, was poor, because along with being a rabbi, he was a peddler, and he sold cloth. And he had a stall at the marketplace, and he also went door to door when he needed to. He sold cloth. And as you know, if you happen to work with cloth, It gets heavy after a while. It's heavier than it looks if you're carrying enough of it that you have to sell. And so he would carry all of this cloth around every day, all week long. And whereas most of us get more and more tired and worn down toward the end of the week, and you would expect that from Rabbi Shimon, he got more and more perky all week long because he loved his second job. He loved being a rabbi. And one afternoon, after everybody was leaving synagogue, they were all leaving, and several of his students who used to come for every single Torah study, because they just loved it that much, and you should totally come for every single Torah study. I digress. So they said, you know, we should really, he's just such a wonderful rabbi, and he puts his whole heart and soul, and I wish that we could do something to help him. And they said, well, what do you think that we should do? And he says, I know, we'll get him a donkey, which, just so you know, if you ever want to get me anything, I would like a goat. But anyway, we'll get him a donkey. So they're like, if we get him a donkey, he won't have to carry that pack. And he's getting up there in years, and this is really hard on him, so we're going to get him a donkey. So they head over on Sunday, and they sneak around so that he won't see them doing what they're doing, and they find a donkey for sale. And they go to this man, they're like, can we have, you know, can we buy this donkey from you? And he says, you know, sure. He says, can we also buy from you the saddle and the saddlebags and all of the things that come with the donkey? Because the person we're buying this for has none of those things. So can we get all of the donkey accessories, as it were? And he said, well, I guess I won't have any use for them if I don't have a donkey, but sure. And then he said, all right, donkey and donkey accessories, what's your price? And he names his price, and they said, okay, donkey and everything on donkey, shake on it. And he says, all right, can I just have the donkey till the end of the day? You come get the donkey at the end of the day, you take the donkey with you. So they come, they get the donkey, they get all of the donkey's accessories and outfits, they take the donkey back, and they take it to Rabbi Shimon, and they're like, Rabbi Shimon, we have got you this donkey to carry all of your things. And he was thrilled. He was just near tears, and he was so happy. And he said, he came with all of the stuff, so you have the saddlebags and the saddle, and everything's going to be great for you now, and we're so glad to be able to help. And he said, okay, great. So they leave, and he proceeds to unsaddle his donkey, groom his donkey, take good care of it, because of course he's going to use it for many years to come. And he notices under the saddle a pouch with a large jewel. And so he goes back to his students, he goes to their house, and he says, did you know that there was a jewel under this saddle? And they said, well, no. And they said, well, so did you not then negotiate also for the jewel? And they said, no, it just came for free with the donkey, I guess, because everything with the donkey, he said we could have everything on the donkey. And he said, so the owner, do you think they knew they had left this here? And they said, no, but finders keepers. I mean, you can keep it. And he said, I'm not going to do that. So he returns the jewel to the original seller, and the following Shabbat, he makes sure to work in to his Torah study the concept of derech eretz. Derech eretz literally translates to the way of the land, and it's used to refer to behavior that takes into account not just the letter of the law, but the expectations and needs of the community as well. And this is what he wanted them to understand, that it was more than just whether or not they could have it, but should they? Was it good for everyone in the community? And they were glad to learn this, and they thought this was a great idea. And he said, now this sounds great in theory, but I want you to also remember that derech eretz can also be used to tell folks how not to do something when it's really not our business. Be sure you know that derech eretz doesn't mean we don't do that, or we do it this way. There's nothing wrong with using derech eretz that way, but make sure you use it in a way that allows people to interpret things that bring more kindness and bring more fairness. And thank goodness that that is also the way that this was used with Tzlofchod's daughters, because they went to Moses and they said, we know it is the law that only men can inherit, but we want something different. And we want the law changed, and they got what they wanted. They got the law changed, and this is in the Torah absolutely bizarre. Because this is a Torah story that actually includes, check this out, civil discourse between all parties, consulting with the current practice and how it may or may not align with values, and a change in future practice. If you have been reading the rest of the Torah, this is unusual. There's fighting, there's arguing, there's being swallowed up by the earth, there's angry talking donkeys. This is amazing. This is amazing. If you thought the talking donkey was weird, this really is something. The story of Tzlofhod's daughters and the story of Rabbi Shimon both show us at our best as humans. They show us with our ability to learn and to change and to our willingness to help one another as we reflect on the week that we have just had, leaving behind whatever challenges and whatever chaos and whatever disagreements we've had. I hope you find a story from your past week that does the same, that shows all of us at our best, our willingness to grow, to change, and to be kind to one another. And I hope that you hold on to that story and that it moves you forward into next Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.
Yasher Koach. And with those words ringing in our heads, we rise and turn to page 282 for Aleinu L'Shabeach. Aleinu L'Shabeach Adon HaKol Atet Gedula Liotzer Breshit Shelo Asanu Kegoyei Ha'aratzot V'lo Zamanu Kimishvachot Ha'adama Shelo Sam Chelkeinu Kahem V'goronenu Kechol Hamona V'nachnu Korim U'mishtachavim U'modim Livnei Melech Mochei HaMochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu V'nemar V'haya Adonai L'melech Ol Kol Haaretz Bayom Hahu Yeh Adonai Echad U'Shemo Echad. You can be seated. Our thoughts turned now to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. It is at this point in our service that I ask that if you are in the period of Shiva, if you are in the first week of mourning, that you rise. And if you are in the period of Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning, you rise to be recognized. And anyone in the first year of Shana, the first Shana year of mourning, please rise. And anyone here observing a yahrzeit or holding a name in memory, please rise. If it is your custom, please join the mourners now. The words for Mourner's Kaddish can be found on page 294. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah Ve'alma divra chirute ve'amlich malchute. V'chay yechon uvyom echon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala uvizman kari v'yimru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevarach le'alam ulamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar, v'yithale, v'yithalal, shemei d'kudsha, brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushvechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma, v'imru, amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Osei shalom v'imramav, huya asei shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. This week, our community remembers John Costas, Kathleen Grushler, Rose Barsky, Samuel Cohen, Carol Fischel, Leonard A. Hershen, Harry Jablow, Minnie Jacoby, Hyman Carroll, Dr. Manfred Katz, Harold Katz, Dr. Harold J. Lansing, Charles Lewis, Edna Melamad, Rosalind Radner, Max Rubin, Sally Shadman, Saul Tumarkin, Henry Weinstein, Arthur I. Wolk, and as already mentioned, a special condolences to our members, Evan and Deborah Costas, on the death of Evan's father, John Costas. Are there any other names you wish to share tonight? May their memories be for blessing. You may be seated. Announcements.
The only one that I have.
Is your mic on?
What?
Mic on.
Oh, that might be.
If you didn't grab a Shabbos lights on your way in, make sure you grab one on your way out. That will have anything we undoubtedly forget to announce in it. It will have it.
So
Elliot?
2 announcements that I can think of that you should know about. One is we have Torah study tomorrow morning as per usual on Zoom. I'm leading Torah study tomorrow, and we are talking about Pinchas again. Such an interesting fellow. And also, not this Wednesday, but the Wednesday after, so the 18th, we are hosting a barbecue at the J, and it's from 5 to 7, so we're going to be helping to serve the food and all of those things. It's on a Wednesday evening. It'll be lovely. That also happens to be the 20-year anniversary of my conversion. So if you come and have a drink with me, I will tell you a fun story that may or may not have an animal in it. And that's what I have to say about that. Yes?
One more announcement. You may not be on the mailing list to say that on Sunday morning this week, we are cleaning,
Oh, yes.
Sunday morning, this coming Sunday morning, if you feel like coming out and cleaning out the front grounds, the plants over there, we're cleaning them all out in preparation for putting in a pollinator garden. But first we have to take out almost everything that's currently there. Not the bushes and the shrubs and the trees, but everything else that's there, taking those out. And then in the fall, we're putting in a pollinator garden. But all hands on deck on Sunday morning if you'd like to join us.
Arrival,
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. Great.
Do it for the butterflies and the bees.
And the bees. And one last thing, I head to camp this Monday, so I will be at the URJ Creative Arts Camp. Rabbi will be back for services next week, but I will say adieu to you all for 2 weeks while I get to make beautiful art with some of our own congregants and many other very gifted artists out in Westchester, which is not that far away. I'm still on call if you need me. You can reach me via email, but that is where I will be for the next 2 weeks. With that, page 339, we get ready for me to send me off to music and art places by singing Hava Nashira, singing a new song, and then after we will have motzi and join each other for a bit of schmoozing and snack, oneg, sponsored by our congregation, right outside when we are done here. Hava Nashira on page 339. Bottom of the page, little line. Hava, Hava Nashira, shir hallelujah, shir hallelujah. 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 Hava, Hava Nashira, shir hallelujah. Hava, Hava Nashira, shir hallelujah. Hava, Hava Nashira, shir hallelujah, shir hallelujah. Thank you to Moret Eliana for leading with me. Thank you to Dennis Stewart, our music director. And thank you to Rachel Greenspan for keeping our live stream live and streaming. We join together. Ha-motzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our prayer is joyfully said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Shabbat shalom.